Back to the Legendary Series, week number 7. It's time for the semifinals. It's the second to last round where the players not only are guaranteed a spot back for next week and also get points, but they have an opportunity to win the final spot. The first match of the semifinals will be Zalae versus Savjz from Team Liquid. This one is cool because I found out over the break that Zalae apparently is one of the recent top performers in some of the grinding formats in Magic Online. And that's pretty cool. So the guy that's transferring some of his knowledge and skills. And it kind of makes sense of why he's able to go through these weeks and just play a little bit consistently, still make it through. But at the same time, it also explains why he hasn't been able to make a breakthrough performance yet, because I think he's still pretty new to Hearthstone.
Yeah, definitely. It's a bit of a tough transition to make. There are a lot of concepts that do carry over, but there are two very different games for sure. And I've seen a lot of players from Magic make the transition pretty well, like Kibler, and we've seen some other players have trouble, like PVDDR. And yeah. Just depends for every person. They kind of catch on at different speeds, but
Sure.
Going well for Zalae so far for sure. Savjz had a pretty dominant win. I think 3-0 in his series, didn't he? First
Yeah,
one of the day.
it was really, really quick.
Yeah, he's playing Fatigue Mage. Should be cool to see that deck out again. That'd be pretty cool if he could manage to win the tournament with it. So that should be a good series.
Yeah, I think Freshco was really happy to see it because one player finally brought something really unique and different. And it might be really good against the lineup that Zalae has if he's running, Hunter, for example. Or he has Priest, a Death Rattle Priest. I think the Mage shuts that down beautifully.
Definitely.
Is that like, you can't do anything.
So I think Fatigue Mage is the deck you've played more than me. How are its matchups? Does it do better against the slower decks?
It's really good against aggro.
Really good against aggro.
Because you have so many heals and taunts and like ways to interact with it, and like Doomsayer is not the only way that you usually like stall. It's just you have like, and then Echo of Medivh is like really powerful where you also have Duplicate to kind of like add these taunts to heal up and whatnot. So
and against controllers that have a harder time then. So something against like Warrior would be.
Yeah, it's not a true mill. Like mill would actually be okay against some of the control, considering control plays slower and like for example the what's the term called? It's
the what?
The Fatigue Druid has a certain name, but that it's something like Natural Blessings.
Mill Druid.
Like
oh really? Oh,
and the reason why that Mill Druid is Fatigue is so good is because it actually mills with Naturalize, and more importantly, it doesn't have minions, so it can't can't like shield block or shield slam something without shield slamming your own minions. You can't execute, so your hand naturally stacks up. This deck actually has a lot of minions, and all it does is stall and just clean the board. So against control, it's a little bit weaker compared to aggro.
I wonder if that'd be possible to turn around with just like a couple of cards like Antonidas or Alexstrasza. Does it play finishers?
That's a really good point. No, it doesn't play that many finishers. It's not the purpose of it. But if you have Duplicate, I mean, I always believe like Duplicate with Antonidas is always a really good way just to extend your late game.
Yeah. Well, Savjz is going to keep his...
Yeah, Doomsayer is really strong against Priest.
Definitely.
Just like Doomsayer on turn 2 to the Undertaker start, it's like, well, dang.
Yeah, how would he do to that? Now, if you're Zalae here, do you even coin the Chow, or do you just save the coin? I think you save the coin. I would. It fills out your turn 2 a lot better to go Zombie Chow, Power Word Shield. And it's better against Doomsayer.
Right.
He's going to opt to just throw it out there. And Doomsayer is going to do what Doomsayer does.
Right. I mean, that's just... He needs Shadow Word Pain or Bust. And I don't know if this deck runs it. Maybe it does, because it is Shrinkmeister.
Is Cold Light Oracle a typical card that you see in this deck?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, well, actually, that's your key to killing, like, Control Warrior.
Okay.
Control Warrior is probably one of the toughest matchups, but it often becomes, like, a 13 damage nuke in the late stage.
Definitely seems powerful.
That a Duplicate comes up.
Yeah. Okay. So he's gonna wait a couple turns, drop this Belcher. You can't really play Explosive Sheep while you have Duplicate out though. Don't think you want 2 of those against Priest.
Yeah, you want the Sludge Belchers and the Antique Heal. Well, not even the Antique Heal Belch, but the Sludge Belcher is really, really strong.
You want 2 Cold Light Oracles?
Well, if the game draws out to that point, I mean, what's funny enough is I think you don't really care too much as long as you have like the Flame Strikes and the way to clear the board. You're like okay with Priest drawing a lot of cards, because what can Priest do? They can't like extend and kill you.
I feel like he would have rather played Cold Light on turn 3, since on turn 4, just because of this Duplicate, he doesn't want to play a minion.
That's fair.
But now his Sludge Belcher is better, to be fair, so...
It's much better.
Yeah. Alright, we're going to see a pretty huge Dark Cultist here, I think. Maybe just play out the 2 minions instead. You're not worried about AoE for a couple turns.
Right. This deck... So, like, one of the hardest things about this deck is not necessarily just playing it, but how to play against it. And that's something that I've encountered a few times, where I'm just like... I just don't know how to kill it. There's just too many ways that mage can stall.
Yeah.
But I think you're absolutely right when you brought up in a previous analysis where one of the best ways to deal with cards, at least with Duplicate, is to let them deal with itself. But you can't with Sludge Belcher. The only way you can do is to Shadow Madness it.
Yeah, he definitely forces it. We've seen an Iron Beak Owl in this Priest deck. If he draws that, he might be able to ignore it. But even then, if you end up ignoring that Duplicate, sometimes you get wrecked by Echo of Medivh after a while.
That's a good point, too.
Alright, Belcher comes down. Black Knight. That's a hell of a draw.
Yeah, but there's more Sludge Belchers.
I'm surprised that...
Is someone injured?
I'm surprised that we didn't see a Powered Shield or a Cleric last turn from Zalae. He had that 1 extra mana. Ended up not playing anything with it.
Could be one of those things where he wants to be resilient towards some of the AoE in the future turns.
Yeah, but it was going to be turn 5 for Mage. I don't know what he could have played.
Frost Nova Doomsayer is the only thing that could have effectively screwed him over.
Yeah. Alright. Echo of Medivh is drawn for Savjz.
So one thing that's really powerful about taunts in this deck is that it naturally builds the AoE. There's a lot of minions that will be trying to keep alive at decent healths, and that's where Flame Strike and Blizzard will be really powerful. So as long as Savjz can really make sure to protect the Sludge Belcher and not like lose it without getting a copy, he's going to be in a really good spot.
Yeah.
I really feel like those matchups are just super one-sided.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it. I don't see a way for Priest to actually deal 30 damage here. I mean, of course it is Fatigue Mage. It's going to be a long and drawn-out affair, but I can't really see a way for Priest to win either. And of course, all the cards he draws off Northshire might end up hurting him in the long run.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, too. Like, you don't really care too much because Priest can't leverage those cards. All they can do is build a strong board, and your deck is one of the best at destroying strong boards. The scariest thing about this deck, too, is that because it has a lot of answers to everything, like a Big Game Hunter and double Explosive Sheep and Doomsayers, it can also manipulate so well to the point where it can get the exact answers. Like, sometimes you just need 3 Big Game Hunters against like a really strong control deck like Handlock, and you can still get it.
The scariest thing about this deck, I think, is if Zalae continues to rope every turn against it, because we are going to be here for another couple days before this game is over, if that's the case. Flame Strike going to come down.
Yep.
That Dark Cultist Death Rattle can play a big role here, though.
It's fine.
Super Cultist.
It's fine because it's never going to truly threaten anything.
I think we're just going to see a Sludge Belcher and a heal here. Most likely.
Yeah, so what's going to happen too is Zalae is going to try to put on pressure, and unless Savjz just does not draw AoE or ways to shut down the aggression, then it's going to be in trouble, but it seems like he's going to be okay here.
Yeah, infinite Sludge Belchers, Flame Strikes, Explosive Sheep, Life Gain, everything in the deck is just here to slow the game down.
Counting his cards, making sure he wouldn't overdraw, but should be fine as long as he plays a Sludge Belcher.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any way for Priest to make Mage draw.
So he's got like a 3rd Flame Strike effectively with Explosive Sheep.
Yep, a double sheep combo.
How much damage does Priest have actually right now? 3, 4, 7, 10.
I think I would attack the Dark Cultist into the Sludge Belcher, and then Shadow Madness the Belcher, and trade.
No, that's one way to go about it. It seems a little unnecessary.
Or actually just Black Knight, maybe.
You could just Black Knight it, right? I mean, that's you know there's another Sludge Belcher that you have to do that so you can save the Shadow Madness.
Yeah.
For when you build up so much pressure.
I was just thinking he might not have a second minion to Shadow Madness
Right.
into later, but
Here's another catch-22 also. Now that this Northshire Cleric is out on the field, Zalae is going to be drawing cards every single time he heals to play out of Flame Strike range. But that gets him closer to the fatigue win condition that Mage wants to reach.
yeah.
So it's one of those things where he has to be careful with how often he's drawing.
Alright, Loot Hoarder comes down. 4 damage to Savjz.
Ooh, Doomsayer.
That's pretty good. He's got the Frost Nova already.
Well, this is where some funny things happen. You can Frost Nova Doomsayer and Echo of Medivh.
Oh yeah, that's insane actually. And even if they Shadow Word Paint it, you still have
Right.
another one to work with.
Exactly. Because this is your second Doomsayer. Now here's another thing too. You have to make sure not to overdraw. So I think, does that put you at? No, that puts you at 9 cards. That's perfect. Oh my god. That's so nuts.
Well, it would. Oh yeah, you would break even on cards.
Right. Maybe Savjz doesn't want the Cold Light Oracle. Or maybe he's just gonna Flame Strike. I don't know. He could have a different plan. It's very tempting because it's like it fits the mana so well.
I think he's gonna do it.
Now Zalae does have a silence though, so that will shut down the Doomsayer. Also, a very funny thing is if he does Frost Nova, he's gonna be like full on board space soon.
I mean, Priest's hero power is much better than Mage's hero power in a fatigue situation. And those Cold Light Oracles are making both of them draw. He just chooses not to have the Cold Light in hand.
It's interesting. He doesn't have a secret up, right?
No, like he could have just had it, right?
Yeah.
Even
I
if you
don't
don't want
know.
to play it. I'm not sure I agree with that play. Maybe having one less card in hand overall is good for like a later Echo of Medivh. You won't overdraw later.
That's true. I've had my fair share of I've actually echoed too many minions and I've overdrawn like 1 or 2 cards.
Well, we got some options here.
Yeah.
Pretty much, I guess Owl is the only real guaranteed way to kill this. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to Owl and then
Vol'jin maybe.
yeah, Bulgin.
If you save Vol'jin, there's no way to deal 2 damage to something later, I guess. I got 6 mana to Akanai hero power. 5 mana to Vol'jin. So even next turn, you can't Vol'jin the second Doomsayer. I like to just see Owl and heal, I think. It seems like the best option. Alright,
Oh man.
dealing 2 to the face.
Oh, it's kind of clever. There's an ice block in this deck. Huh. It makes sense because given Illuminator.
Yeah, it's very good with Illuminator for sure.
Okay.
The one deck, the one mage deck with a bunch of defensive secrets that sit there for a while and no mad scientist. It's actually just not good enough, I guess.
That silence is actually really problematic, but how much damage is here? It's 7, 8, 10, 16, 18 damage. Does need to heal. He can like... Oh, he's gonna double explosive sheep and ice block. Alright. Pretty strong. Sets up for a pretty strong flame strike.
Yeah, the Corona Cold
never
clears
mind.
it.
Oh, nice puzzle. I like it.
Yeah, that's
That was sexy.
yeah, it looked cool. That's an example of just like playing the deck a lot.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, well, I think he could play like ice block here or something. But oh my god, he actually used all 10 mana.
Yeah, well played. Alright, the board is gone. I guess you steal the 0-3, so you have something to defend Vargas later. He does have Shrinkmeister, I guess. So you want to save the Cabal to maybe steal a Sludge Belcher later.
Oh, that's a very good point. Another cleric. Oh, I guess just for the defender of Argus.
Yep. You gotta build up the board a bit. And back to Savjz.
So here's another thing too. Oh, I was just about to bring that up. Echo of Medivh still gets value on a Silence Doomsayer because you just pick it up again.
Yeah.
So if he simply dropped like another Doomsayer and then got 2 more, it's just too crazy with how this deck synergizes with itself.
Get another Illuminator too if you want it.
Yeah.
Illuminator heals 4 at the end of turn, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Very powerful. Well, is he gonna develop Ice Block this turn? I guess he's leaning towards Sludge Belcher.
What to do? What to do?
When your hand is full of a bunch of reactive cards like this, I mean, any combination of things is generally a viable play. So that's why a lot of people say control decks are so hard to play. You have to you just have more options usually.
Right, and it's about selecting the right one, the optimal one. It's a bunch of puzzles.
Yeah.
Doomsayer, Ice Block, and the Sludge Belcher. Seems pretty appropriate. But I guess it would make your freeze a lot weaker.
So he's just going to develop the Belcher and the Ice Block. Zalae is going to be able to steal this if he wants with Shrinkmeister and Cabal. That's what he was holding on to Cabal for.
2 Shrinkmeisters and a Cabal.
Does he want to do that, though? And if he does, would he let the Doomsayer live, or would he kill it? I mean, he knows there's another Echo of Medivh in the deck.
And also there's another Sludge Belcher.
I wish we could see the deck sizes right now, because that's going to play a very big role this game on who fatigues first.
Well, guess what, Rene? We can, thanks to the power of Spectator Mode.
7 for Zalae.
Versus 14.
Okay, so Priest is screwed. Good to know.
Well, I mean, it still actually has some pretty good pressure options here.
Yeah, I guess Savjz doesn't have a way to clear the board at all. He's got Flame Strike, but that's not going to be good enough here.
He needs Blizzard right now. Or second Frost Nova.
Zalae's going to let Doomsayer live. Not worried about the Echo of Medivh value. He'd rather get the damage.
Another Sludge Belcher.
He's got the Vol'jin for the other Sludge Belcher. A lot of 5 health minions for Zalae here. It's very annoying when you're the player with Flame Strike, that's for sure.
Right.
Oh, man.
Well,
this game, I mean, this matchup looked lopsided, but Priest is not in a bad spot here.
Right. The problem is he hasn't gotten a Doomsayer, and the really big difference maker is that Ironbeak Owl on the Doomsayer. It never got to pop.
He is going to go with the Flame Strike regardless.
Yeah.
I guess
you can also be a little fearless, because one thing that this deck, at least when I was first playing it, it didn't have Ice Block. So it's one of those things where if you took too much damage, you died, and that was it. But you actually have ways to bounce back once the Ice Block has been popped.
Alright, well, still pretty strong board for Priest here. Just barely, wait, no, not enough mana. He's just barely short of lethal.
Oh, I think I saw what you saw. Vol'jin.
Yeah, not even close to enough mana.
It's 12 mana.
It's, yeah, it's 12.
That's actually...
Next level?
Yeah, that's just way too much.
It would just telegraph it if you just threw out Vol'jin and Zombie Chow, right?
Yeah.
Well, for the viewers, what we're talking about is Vol'jin on your own Zombie Chow, so that it's at 2 health, and you can shoot it with your own Akanai, so that it deals 5.
That's too crazy.
But, yeah, it's not... I guess you can put Mage to 1. That's a pretty good life total to have him at, I guess.
Okay, we'll put some at 3. I mean, I guess there's no real pressure to do anything else.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I wouldn't play that.
Aw.
Well, Savjz does not have a way to kill it.
That's the card he needed. Oh! Hold on. It leaves a 1-attack creature. Alkanize 3 damage. Can it do 4 more? Actually, yeah, Vol'jin does kill it. Oh wait, Illuminator. Never mind. I thought he was gonna Doomsayer. False alarm.
Alright. Maze managed to develop a minion finally. It's going to make that Echo of Medivh a lot more threatening. No Cabal for Zalae here. He still has one left in the deck, I think, right?
2. I think so. 2, 3, 5 damage right now. Wait! No, he can pop the ice block. No, he doesn't have enough mana. Dang it. Really close, really close. He needed to Shadow Madness, zombie, and then do the Zombie Chow play.
Yeah. Yeah, the Zombie Chow play in and of itself is going to take 8 mana. Well, this is a very complicated game.
This is very complex. I mean, people say Hearthstone can be pretty simple at times, and I agree, but one of these games it's just such uncharted territory. Alright, so now Vol'jin removals off the table. Yeah, that's it, right? Nothing else to do.
Yeah. Alright, back to Savjz, who has an answer to Akanai.
Yeah, it's not bad actually. Oh wait, no, Shadow Madness.
Shadow Madness doesn't stop the...
No, but it allows him to go around the Sludge Belcher.
The Sludge Belcher, yeah. But then he has to choose between... Oh no, he doesn't. He can kill the Doomsayer and pop Ice Block. Wow.
Wait, is he gonna quadruple Doomsayer? Oh man.
Ah, he needs the board clear. Ice Block's gonna get popped.
Right, but he's got the Antique Healbot and the Sludge Belcher.
Why did he Frostbolt Akanai? Did that affect... Oh, I guess he could have killed both with the Akanai. Yeah, okay, so he needed to do that.
Also, I think Circle of Healing, in case he had, like, some way to do it, but... Okay, so he can pop the Ice Block. But he's gonna lose his board no matter what, right?
Think so.
And then after the Ice Block gets popped, Savjz can play the Antique Healbot and something else, whether it's Doomsayer or a Sludge Belcher. Zalae has to be on this last, like, 3 or 4 cards, by the way. And Savjz still has plenty of draw in his deck. Oh, Death Lord, there it is. But that's pretty, I don't know, Shadow Madness.
Yeah, Shadow Madness on Belcher is pretty strong.
Yeah.
He can run the slime in. That won't... Ah, it needs 1 more damage on it, huh?
Yeah, it does.
Alright, well... I guess it's just a Sylvanas turn then.
I'm very hesitant against Sylvanas with the deck against Doomsayers. But I guess he doesn't really run fireballs. If you study this deck enough, you know that there's actually no fireballs.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the amount of cards in the Mage's hand, you know, even if he forces the Sylvanas to Doomsayer, it's still going to blow up at the beginning of your turn as the Priest, and then you have all these other cards to play.
It's true.
Yeah, there's a point where the Priest deck just out-attritioned Savjz. I mean, we said in the beginning of the game it looked so lopsided in favor of Mage, but I don't really see how Mage can win. I just don't see a way. Priest has a stream of threats to just keep developing, and you know, Savjz's hand is just very reactive. It can't really...
Well, the deck, it wins when there's no cards left in Priest's deck. That's the main objective of this deck. to like kill everything, and like Priest can't do anything but heal and take fatigue damage. If he can get one more Doomsayer off, I would say that I think Savjz can still do this. In fact, with 2 taunts, 3 taunts.
Deathlord's bugged.
Wait.
There it is.
9 cards remaining. 9 versus how many cards on the other side? 2. So if you play 2 Deathlords, what happens?
Those are going to be pretty good, I guess.
Wait, Doomsayer activates, but then Deathlords pull the minions onto the battlefield. It doesn't matter anymore. Deathlords, there's like no minions left in the deck. He's going to draw.
Exactly, yeah.
So Deathlords are just pure taunts at this point, with no downside.
Yeah. 3 mana, 2/8s. Even better than Mogashin.
Way better than Mogashin.
Alright, getting in for 1.
Almost out of cards.
Oh! Cabal Shadow Priest.
Well, that's pretty good.
It's really good. Cabal Shadow Priest. And you can take his Sludge Belch or Shadow Madness.
Yeah, kill off. That's a very clean turn for Zalae here. You
Savjz
can't.
still has plenty of stall though. The thing that will break the back, in my opinion, is the Frost Nova.
Oh yeah, Frost Nova Doomsayer would end it. Is there another Blizzard left, or
There's
both
another
been played?
Blizzard left. I mean, Savjz didn't draw into a lot of his freeze and stall.
Let me change your mind.
But there's a lot of cards remaining in Savjz's deck.
All right, 1 draw. That's not it. Needed a freeze here.
He's still not dead.
Not yet.
There's going to be 7 damage on the board, and Priest start taking fatigue damage. And it'll be the scenario where, like,
What to do? What to do?
he just has to draw his stall.
What could he draw though? Blizzard doesn't work because Haunted Creeper would kill him. I guess it just wouldn't, just barely wouldn't.
It barely wouldn't, because right now, if he, assuming he polymorphs Sylvanas,
Yeah.
there's going to be 7 damage, and then he'll have 2. He have 3 health remaining, so the 2 wouldn't matter.
Do you just play the Doomsayer to gain some life? Maybe. Probably do.
Yeah.
Definitely puts Zalae in a tough spot. 'Cause he has to kill it. That's a gain 7.
Right. Gain 7, not to mention the Ancient Heal bot still survives. I don't know. Actually, maybe he needed to save the Doomsayer, because like his freeze was his last chance. It's hard to say, right?
Yeah, I guess he needed it to blow up.
Right. This Doomsayer needs to blow up, and if it does, that's actually... I think that's the game right there. Priest can't close out the distance.
Yeah, it's got a Harrison, but yeah, that probably draws some answer to it. Alright, looks like Doomsayer's gonna get killed. That's for sure. I think if you're the Priest here, he is gonna play another minion. He's seen 2 Flame Strikes, I think, hasn't he?
Yeah, 2 Flame Strikes have been played.
So, no reason not to play that.
That belongs in a museum.
The Chow could die to Blizzard, so I'd probably hold on to the other minions. Yeah, just heal yourself and pass, I think.
So Savjz just needs to draw all of his stall, right? He has 2 freezes left. He also has a Cone of Cold, I think. Slay is also positioned well enough.
Wow. He would have won the game if he waited, potentially.
Yeah. I think playing the Doomsayer there was a little bit too soon.
Back to Zalae, who's just going to heal himself and pass back.
Right.
Healing the Death Lord instead, interesting. I haven't done the fatigue math, but I'm sure that's fine.
Seems to be okay and innocuous for now. I think another Ancient Heal bot? Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm actually like super convinced that, I mean, I guess hindsight's really easy to say, but of course we have the knowledge too, but I'm still very surprised that Savjz opted to play that Doomsayer.
Yeah.
And the mage hero power is just annoying enough that Zalae can't heal himself unless he wants to give up his damage. No more Medivhs. I think Savjz also is on a duplicate draw.
I think you just play Shrinkmeister at this point to heal one of your minions for 2.
I think if Zalae's also in tune, I think Savjz might have another duplicate in his deck. He has another Blizzard. He has another Cone of Cold, so that's 3 cards.
I mean, could you ignore it? He's just thinking about going face.
5, 9, 10, 12. I wonder if there's another Ice Block or Illuminator.
What about a Blizzard? What if he just plays Blizzard?
Yeah, I think Blizzard's going to be really powerful. Duplicate's not what he needed, though.
That's like one of the worst draws.
Yeah, that was the biggest problem.
Alright, well. It looks like Zalae has this game won. I don't see a way.
Yeah. It was winnable, right, on both sides for a long time. This deck's pretty complex.
Yeah, hard to play against for sure. And Zalae is gonna take the first game of the series.
We did it. We did it, Reddit.
I'm proud of myself for being awake still, Dan.
Me too. Proud of you too. Alright, so that wraps up the first game of the series, believe it or not. That was a pretty long one, about 20-25 minutes. Savjz is down 0-1, and now he's going to have to rely on something else to take on what Zalae has. The Priest is out of the way, and Priest once again getting a win, despite it being one of the classes that's the least popular right now.
Yeah, Undertaker Priest too, not the traditional list. I'm glad to see it working out well for him. I don't think he's lost with it yet, so yeah, cool choice, different deck, it's working out well.
So taking a look at the lineups, we have Hunter versus Warrior, and finally Druid versus the Handlock.
Yeah. Hunter versus Warrior, that's an interesting matchup. It's all about the War Axe, right? Whoever draws, well, whether Savjz draws War Axe or not will pretty much determine whether it's a stomp in favor of Warrior or a stomp in favor of Hunter. Well, I feel like the Warrior decks have definitely gotten better against Hunter than they used to be, though. With Shield Maiden, you're starting to see Whirlwind back in the deck because of the increase of Paladin popularity. And then, yeah, Druid versus Warlock, of course, at the end of the series. Should be another great set. We're seeing that matchup a lot. 2 of the more popular classes. Druid versus Warlock is kind of the new Handlock versus Warrior, I guess.
I guess so, because Druid's popularity. But one thing I love about this series in general is that there's 6 different classes being played. So
yeah, it's cool to see. Savjz didn't bring Warlock. Interesting choice. It's been working out well for him so far.
And, he does have a matchup that I think is pretty good for him. I think a lot of people feel like Hunter just can't really beat Warrior consistently now, you know, War Axe aside. And then Druid versus Handlock's been going in Druid's favor today recently. So
definitely.
Druid's been winning.
Which is surprising in my opinion. I actually think Handlock could be pretty favored, if you know, assuming no big game Hunter's drawn. But
yeah, I'm inclined to agree for sure. Well, let's see if Savjz can keep it up. I think both these guys are starting to get a little fatigued as well. No pun intended. Savjz is in Finland, and that's 9 hours from now, so it's like starting to get 2, 3 a.m.
Yeah, jeez.
Really intense for guys like Ping Ping Ho, though, because he's been up for a while.
Yeah, you got to feel for him. Well, the drawbacks of North American run tournaments, I guess. But yeah,
I suppose so.
They're playing well so far. It hasn't affected them too much from what I've seen. Yeah. 6 different classes. That's surprising. Didn't think we'd see that much variety.
Yeah, actually, I think we have every class represented today.
And yesterday, too. So, yeah, with GVG being released, it's a pretty balanced metagame. Lots of different classes being played here and there. I'd like to see a bit more Shaman. I think Ping Ping Ho is the only person that's...
I heard what you said.
I didn't, but then I thought about it for a second. Yeah, but yeah, I like his Shaman deck. That's my favorite deck of the tournament so far, I'd say. What's been your favorite deck so far?
Fatigue Mage.
Fatigue Mage?
Yeah, Fatigue Mage. I like that deck a lot. I think it has potential. I think Savjz could probably agree that he didn't even play to the best of his ability. And likewise, I think Zalae was like, well, I probably didn't play the best of my ability. And I think that's what I want to see. I want to see stronger decision lines and people who understand what they're playing. I mean, the reality is, I think it was like 3 days ago Savjz started streaming this deck, and he's only been playing for a couple of days, and that's just not enough time to master it through and through, especially for an unusual matchup like Priest.
Savjz does not look happy about that game.
No. Yeah.
That's the expression I have when somebody plays Undertaker.
Well, no Undertaker.
Yeah.
Just a mad scientist.
It's going to be a fun interactive game of Hearthstone. No 1-mana 4/5s. Scientist is in play. But no War Axe for Warrior. Luckily for him, though, he didn't need it this game. No Undertaker means you can get away with no War Axe sometimes.
Yeah, he does have a Death Bite too on the next turn, so some of this Whirlwind effect can be very useful. Almost certainly going to be Death Bite here.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's got to be the play. It's a lot of expensive cards in hand, though. Using coin does hurt a little bit. He's considering the merit of double Taskmaster, I guess. Maybe save himself 3 life on the front half of Death Bite. Does decide to go with it in the end, though. I'm glad that we're seeing a good amount of Freezing Trap again. There was a time when people weren't playing 2 Freezing Trap, which really surprised me, because I think that's the best trap by far. But most of these Hunter decks that we've seen today have had 2 of that, so happy with that decision.
Things Zalae is too. He's bouncing up and down. Pretty excited. Maybe trying to keep himself awake, playing against War Control Warrior.
Is Zalae a North American player?
I think so.
Oh, he's got the advantage then. It's a lot earlier than in Finland for him.
Sure, but then you don't know the hours, you know. I think Savjz is normally used to streaming to this time of the night, so he could be adjusted. And then you don't know if Zalae's had to wake up earlier or later, etc.
So are we going to see a Juggler Hero Power here or a Huffer? That's what he's trying to decide between. I like the Hero Power play. You have an Unleash the Hounds or Freezing Trap. Not too many threats to keep dropping as the Hunter, so I think you want to get as much mileage out of the Hero Power as possible. On the other hand, if you wait a turn and you roll a Leok, you're getting a little bit less value out of that. I don't like this play.
Freezing Trap and Hero Power?
That can't be correct, can it?
I guess he just wants him to attack into this Mad Scientist.
Like, if it's Snake Trap, he still gets wrecked. So why would he not attack the Scientist? If he played a minion, he would be getting, like...
Well, he doesn't have to attack the Scientist. He can just use Cruel Taskmaster.
What now?
Yeah. Huh. I guess the thinking is he doesn't want his entire board to die to a Taskmaster. Rather have the Juggler in hand. Okay.
Back to work.
Alright, we are going to see Taskmaster come down. Savjz is going to save the Deathbite charge.
Oh man.
It recognizes he doesn't need to use it just yet.
The Silverback Patriarch.
The People's Champion. Defending.
Is everybody the People's Champion to you right now?
Well, only Silver... Like, what did I say the last card was the People's Champion?
Mocha the Ogre?
Mocha the Ogre and Silverback Patriarch. That quality of card, yes. The Frostwolf grunts of the world. They're underappreciated, Dan.
Silverback Patriarch has won me a few games off of Whip Spinner.
Yeah, it's one of the only taunts you can get, and a lot of times that's the difference of winning or losing a race. It's definitely one you look for, like in the mirror match. I think we are going to see Bow to clear out the 2-2. Probably don't want your Freezing Trap to just get popped by that. The only question at that point for Zalae is, do I play Juggler, do I play Hero Power? Do I play a single turn of any game without roping?
You're learning. We have a nickname for him around here. Resident Zalaper.
Resident Zalaper. I like it. Alright.
But he is a very careful player too. That's what's gotten him here too. Also, you know, to be fair.
Yeah.
Taking his time.
He's bringing out the aggro decks this week. Zalaper Gnome.
That was good, man. Yeah, you know, he was doing this with Control Warrior, and it doesn't surprise me to see him switch it up, but also be very careful.
I think we're gonna see Drain Life here from Savjz.
Armor up, shield slam.
Yep.
He just has to wait long enough to stall out his opponent. He still has Whirlwind Execute effect with his weapon.
I mean, Shield Maiden basically has taunt, because you don't want that getting freezing trapped.
Ah, that's a good point. I like it. Pseudo taunt.
Yeah. You're killing me, Savjz. Oh my god. You must choose.
This is the most I've seen Savjz stress in a while.
Yeah.
I've got the beast in my sight.
So he wants the Mad Scientist to trade in here. He wants to keep Shield Slam.
Alright, now, are there other traps in Zalae's Hunter deck? I think we saw Snake Trap in one of the earlier games.
We did see a Snake Trap, but I don't know if that was him. But I think he might be the only Hunter, right?
I think there were 2 Hunters. Well, no, yeah, I think he should be the only Hunter, actually.
Right. So he does have a Snake Trap in the deck.
Yeah. Let's see if,
Go for Juggle City.
Nope.
Okay,
Yeah,
then,
now the question is, do you trade or not? Or do you just let that BGH trigger freezing trap? I might be okay with letting it get freezing trapped. Get an extra bow charge. I mean, you have a scientist anyway that's going to get another trap.
Right.
I wonder.
Guess it just goes for the Severed back Patriarch. If Savjz is also paying attention, he knows his opponent has Snake Trap.
Yep. All the more reason to attack.
Right. Other than giving a charge to your opponent's weapon. But you
Yeah.
can make that up. You have double Shield Maiden.
Yeah, you're right though. He does attack. I mean, that's 3 more damage that you don't necessarily need to take.
Yeah, so you Shield Slam first. Very good technical play from Savjz. Alright, he's on top of it.
Wait, I don't know. Oh yeah.
And then of course he tosses out the Cruel Taskmaster to challenge the freezing trap, so that way Shield Maiden and other big legendary minions can do stuff.
I wonder if he is going to want to make that attack though, because if he does, that's going to mean even more bow damage. And this Cruel Taskmaster is probably going to eat the bow charge. Oasis Snapjaw, Old Faithful. Never leaving the constructed scene, regardless of how many expansions come out.
Definitely an underrated card for sure. Shield Maiden, pretty clutch here.
Yeah, one of the reasons that Warrior is so much better against Hunter than it used to be. You now have basically 4 ways to gain a good amount of life, get out of kill command range. You can afford to use your weapons to leverage a bit more board control and card advantage than you used to be able to. A lot less costly to attack minions over and over again. Now Zalae's at a point where it's nearly impossible for him to win. He's looking at a 25 life Warrior. Not too many resources to work with. Getting Shield Maiden freezing trapped is not something he wants to deal with. But on the other hand, killing it would take so many resources away from him. I would like to see him attack face and hero power and just ignore the Shield Maiden here, I think.
Yeah, I like that too. I think if he pops it, you still make up some of that armor gain with the weapon charge anyways.
Yeah, it's going to cost 8 to replay it, and you're going to deal 6 if he does that, like, this turn.
Yeah. And you're still doing 6 damage on the board.
Alright, I think we're going to see Shield Maiden proc the freezing trap. Now the question is, does he just play Gromosh here? I think I would.
Try to force him into a situation where he has to deal with Gromosh.
Yeah.
He'll have 5 health remaining, correct?
Yeah.
So he might draw a kill command from it.
Nice thing about this is it also just gains you 4 life, uses all your mana, as opposed to spending 2 of it hero powering.
But he's got another freezing trap.
Yeah.
That's gonna stall the Gromosh even more.
Bring out your dead.
And that's just gonna give another charge to the bow. I mean, he's still in this.
Yep. Gonna be putting Savjz to 9.
I mean, you were saying how you don't know how Hunter can win, but I think he looks in a pretty strong position here. You still think Warriors got this?
Yeah, if he doesn't mess up. I mean, you just shield maiden armor, right? And do nothing. And then you win.
I guess so. If you shield maiden, then he has to attack into shield maiden, right? Gaining you even more life.
He doesn't have to attack into it, like he won't, but I think that is the play. If he attacks with Gromosh this turn, though.
I think he's trying to count if it's bearing, if it's Sheik trap, so he can bear and get in. Armor up. Can he afford to do that?
Okay, now he might lose. Because that's 3 extra damage he didn't need to proc just yet. Wow. Oh man, I can't believe Warrior is in this position. He needed to wait a little longer on the trap proc, I think.
I mean, he still can draw Alex Straza or something to put him within. I mean, Warrior's gonna be... He's also gonna be gaining 5 life again next turn.
Yeah.
4, 9. If it's... He's on a kill command draw to win. Oh man. Scary moment. Risky, risky,
Yeah, I'm
risky.
surprised he didn't armor up because of that. But
Risky, risky, risky.
Zalae, he's been sitting on a card all game, but it's not kill command, it's unleash. He's drawn back-to-back Undertakers too. Probably the worst draws he could have gotten, worse than Goldshire Footman. So yeah,
I mean,
very
they are
fortunate.
Goldshire Footman.
No, they don't have taunt, man. They're not ready for action. But yeah, very fortunate for Savjz. He's still alive, still in this game. Has another turn of Shield Maiden ahead of him.
Well, does he go for it? Does he ignore this Acolyte that can draw a lot of cards?
You have to, right? I don't think you can win if you...
Bring out your dead.
Just go all out, balls to the wall.
Yep.
Give up his beasts. I mean, if he has Brawl... I mean, he's just going to cross his fingers. Oh man, that's so much damage. So then, does Alex Straza just lock him out of the game?
Most likely.
Oh, Harrison Jones is pretty clutch too.
Well, a little late.
It is a little late.
I think you draw a card first.
Yep. I guess Zalae's rationale is that there's a lot of beasts on the field, and most likely if he draws kill command, he'll be able to use it.
I think there are 2 shield blocks left in Savjz's deck.
Shield block would be really clutch too. What about Brawl? Brawl and Harrison Jones would be pretty nasty as well. Oh no, you couldn't armor up in time.
Well, he doesn't have a Brawl.
What now?
But yeah.
No, I'm saying if he draws into it.
Oh, if he draws into it off the Acolyte, yeah.
But then it still might be risking it because you're at 3 HP.
Mm-hmm.
Is he not? Why is he not drawing?
I don't know, just taking his time.
That belongs in a museum.
He's trying to hit a shield block, I think.
Oh, Armorsmith's pretty clutch.
I mean, it's 2 life. I don't know if you can win by... I guess same as armoring, might as well.
He can execute.
Oh, no shield block, so he has to execute.
Okay, so how much damage there? That's 4 damage. It's still a kill command to win the game right here.
There are 2 of them, I think.
No.
Lotheb. Oh my god. I think Warrior's gonna win because that Armorsmith now. That's 4 life next turn.
Basically resetting all the damage.
Yep.
He's 1 damage off lethal. And I have like a really weird feeling that Savjz is going to draw Alex Straza next turn.
Yep.
He's gonna draw. He's gonna put himself back to the 15 and then gain 4 life right after that. That's weird, man. I don't understand this feeling of Hunter not drawing the 1 card off the top to end the game right here.
Yeah,
There are
it's
so
weird,
many
right?
ways he could have added damage. He had an Undertaker. Any Death Rattle would have been it.
He drew back-to-back Undertakers. Yeah, any Death Rattle was lethal. That's
Any
insane.
Death Rattle was lethal.
Wow. Savjz doesn't have a taunt though.
I mean, he's got Armor Smith and Shield Maiden. I mean, he's crushing everything effectively. Now it's like he needs a lot of damage to come back in here. He needs Death Wing off the top. He gained 11 health that turn.
Right on
and Kill
time.
Command was next card.
Right on time.
Wow.
You got to feel for Zalae here.
I feel for him so bad. I mean, I didn't feel like Zalae did anything wrong here. I feel like Savjz gave him a chance, if anything.
Oh, definitely. Zalae played this game a lot better than Savjz, for sure. But the matchup is pretty stacked in favor of Warrior, so even despite those mistakes, Zalae couldn't draw the damage he needed to punish him. I can't believe, yeah, even a web spinner would have been lethal. That's crazy.
Yeah. Any Death Rattle. Like, I bet the next 3 cards we see drawn from Hunter, if we do that, would have been like all the lethal damage that he needed. It was actually very unlucky to not get it. Boom.
Yeah.
Death Rattle.
Well played.
That's it. The series is tied. And don't ever let anyone convince you that 1 damage doesn't matter here. Especially in a matchup like this. So, Savjz will tie it up, and we'll go into the blind pick stage guaranteed. Our first 1-1 split in the day.
Yeah.
And, now we go into the last match, which I believe is Druid versus the
Warlock.
The Warlock.
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
It's Handlock versus... Is it a Ramp Druid? I think it's a Ramp Druid.
I think so, yeah. We saw it once earlier. Yeah, it should be ramp. Oh yeah, should be some good games. You can definitely tell the fatigue. I feel like is getting to the players a bit. I mean, it has been pretty long while to be awake, especially for Savjz.
Yeah, I mean, we've been broadcasting for about 7 straight hours now, so...
Yeah. I'm starting to empathize a lot, man.
You feel it?
With casters, yeah.
Oh.
How did you do it that 1 week with, 2 tournaments a day where you cast it
Oh,
all?
yeah, there was this 1 week where it was just hell. I think I had the Taiwanese BlizzCon qualifiers during the day and then WEC at 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I had to do both of them. And Nimsh was my hotel roommate, and I was waking him up while casting. I got like 2 hours of sleep at night. It was
Wow.
pretty tough. And there's another, in the very next week, we had like Prismata Cup and Hearth stats at the same time.
Yeah,
And
I
it was
remember
like-
that.
It was just a very, 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 very long 2 weeks because I think Deck Wars was between that too. So in the span of like 14 days, I casted like 20 days worth of stuff.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, double implosion handlock.
Yeah, that's right. This is the combo handlock, right? We have
Well, I don't know if it plays Sea Giant, but it does play implosion. I mean,
it also
Implo-
plays Arcane Golem.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
We haven't actually seen the Faceless or the Powerful one yet, though.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe he doesn't have it, but that handlock game was pretty quick because he just beat Hype Zoo very quickly. Meanwhile, does Savjz have a really good way to follow up? Yes, he does. Big Game Hunter. That's pretty valuable against this deck. Maybe not now, but definitely in a few turns. And next turn he does have that Innervate. For now, Zalae will just be very systematically life tapping, getting closer to a powerful Twilight Drake.
You gotta just tap a couple turns in a row here. Get the Drake to be as big as possible on time in case the Druid doesn't have Keeper of the Grove. Alright. We're starting to see very few Siphon Souls in handlock. I feel like a lot of handlocks are playing double Big Game Hunter now.
I mean, Big Game Hunter is just so useful.
Yeah, great card right now.
So Savjz does have a way to make the curve somewhat smooth.
Yep, definitely gonna see Shade here.
It's not going to be safe against Hellfire, but neither will his Zombie Chow be.
I think we're going to see the turn 4 innervate for sure.
Yeah. Spectre Knight's much better, right, than Azure Drake?
I think so.
Innervate.
I mean, Azure Drake would... Yeah, you want the Knight first. If you're going to guarantee play a 5-drop the next turn, you might as well Drake later.
Does this make you feel much better about Hellfire? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, if he has a minion out, for sure. I mean, Mortal Coil's a scary card, if anything. Wow, he's not going to innervate.
So he can innervate Ancient of Lore?
I don't know if I like that as much. I mean, I guess Shade's not going to be that much better. Looks like he's leaning towards it, though. Question is, does he even attack with a Shade he has in play?
Right. If he doesn't, then he's just gonna lose both of his Shades to Shadow Flame.
Yeah. I feel like he has to. If he does, though, it'll give an implosion target to Zalae.
Wow, he holds.
Is there Shadow Flame justice? No, there isn't. Definitely seems like a Twilight Drake turn. Zalae's going to keep developing the board. This was the very anti-aggro handlock list. Farseers, Implosion, Belcher, Zombie Chow. There were Dark Bombs in here, Mortal Coil.
He's got Thanos as well. Alright,
Yeah.
Innervate, Ancient of Lore. And, I mean, check this out. I mean, he's going to have these growing Shades that will be able to answer Giants alone. It'll just be insane powerful. Oh, never mind. He's going for attacks. Alright.
Alright,
Doesn't wanna take
Zombie
that
Chow taken out. So yeah, Savjz is going to go ahead and clear up the board a little bit. Knows that there's a good chance there's no Shadow Flame from Zalae. It probably would have been played turn 4 there. So that's up to Zalae to try to control this board as much as he can. He can Blood Mage, Coin Implosion if he's feeling ambitious.
Feeling ambitious is
The value.
probably the way to put it the best, because there's also an opportunity for your opponent to just swipe on the other end.
Yeah, but the value. Yeah, I guess you do just
Sledge Belcher.
yeah.
It's boring, but I think that's just the best play here.
I mean,
There's times for cool plays. This is not it.
What about just Implosion on the 4-1 and then play like a Zombie Chow and kill the other Shade?
Ah, all right. I can accept that. Still a little weak to swipe though. Yeah, it's still very weak to swipe actually.
So it's fine.
Well,
Alright.
it's about, yeah. He didn't roll that high, so.
Yeah, I agree with you. We're going to see the board cleared up here with Swipe. Ancient Allure into Twilight Drake.
Which is interesting because I think Drew is going to be up in cards now, like overall.
Yeah, there's two ways to do this. You can Ancient Allure into the Zombie Chow and then swipe Hero Power on the Drake. Or you can lure into the Drake, swipe the Zombie Chow, and then play your Wild Growth. Which I think you want to do because you have a bunch of 5-drops, so you kind of just want to get to 10 mana as soon as possible.
If you Wild Growth now, you'll have 8 mana the following turn.
He's going to do it in the way that keeps Ancient of Lore at a higher life total.
Force out
There's-
a Dark Bomb if he
Yeah.
has it. You know, don't want to give it Mortal Coil value.
Yeah, exactly. Playing around Mortal Coil mostly. So here we go. He still has the option to play a 5-drop in Wild Growth next turn.
There it is.
Yeah, best possible turn to draw that. Now the only question for Zalae is, do I life tap or do I play a Belcher and Dark Bomb?
I think Belcher's okay. You've saved coin long enough.
I would like to see a life tap there instead.
Yeah.
'Cause-
After all these lectures about how you need people save the coin and overvalue.
Oh, there's lots of lectures about people not life tapping enough too.
That's true. Basically, there's no way to make you happy as a handlock.
Not at all. I don't even know if this is Handlock, man. I don't know if we've seen Giants from this deck ever.
I think there is Mountain Giants and Moltens. Twilight Drake is going to be basically a chill win Yeti.
Surprised he's playing BGH before triggering the bomb. I guess he wants to go face. I would have killed a bomb and then played BGH, but
Sure.
that's fine too.
Well, these bombs can become really clutch.
Yeah, would you charge the Druid of the Claw into the Sludge Belcher?
Doesn't seem very fruitful. Then again, your opponent's at such a... Oh my god.
Yeah, that is why you kill bombs before you play BGH.
Yeah. Because now BJ didn't give even a full 1-for-1.
I like to see a wild growth here.
Yeah, you have 2 5-drops the following turn. I agree. Although, you do have Pilot Shredder next turn as well.
Watch this. This Boombot is going to hit that Belcher for 2, and then he's going to have to... Okay.
Yeah.
No decisions. He's about to play Big Game Hunter against the
Really?
Handlock deck as a minion.
That would surprise me. I would be very surprised about that.
Time waits for no one.
I think Savjz's second monitor was falling asleep. I feel like if he plays Big Game Hunters, he's going to rip Mountain Giant out the top.
Empathize with that monitor. BGH, he is just going to play it. Wow.
Nah, I think he's going to Wild Growth.
Alright, there we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, double 5-drop next turn. Got to start getting some of these out of your hand.
Life Tap. It's about time you start refilling your hand.
Yeah, he definitely needs to life tap, but... Is Zalae allowed to make plays before the rope comes down? He is! Cards in hand, perfect. So now it's going to be Belcher, kill the 4/4. Hit face for 3. It's an interesting spot because normally Handlock has like 2 or 3 more cards in this to work with. So when you draw Mountain Giants in the mid game, they're a bit more of a threat.
But now they cost like 7 mana.
Yeah, he's going to have a very hard time getting those out of his hand. Alright. Belcher comes out. In for 3. It's back to Savjz. Maybe this is part of the plan for Zalae. He recognizes the hour that it is in Finland.
Oh yeah, and he's dragging it out.
Yeah.
Ooh. It's too bad he doesn't have enough mana, but Black Knight is great.
Definitely.
Comes back to him. That Twilight Drake living for 1 health is also tantalizing him. Oh, wow, actually I just realized what's about to happen. Black Knight onto the
Druid of the
the
Claw.
Claw.
Yeah.
There's 10 damage remaining. So there's a Faceless.
Yeah, that's the dream. Black Knight, their 5-drop. Your 4/1 Twilight Drake trades into, oh man, value. I don't know if it's possible to come back from that. I mean, he's got his own Black Knight, he's got a piloted Shredder, but oh man. That was a great turn for Zalae. And he's got initiative.
Maybe there's an opportunity for some Pilot Shredder shenanigans. 4, 8, 11. He still could tap.
He could tap. He could just faceless the Shredder if he wants that. I'd like to have more threats. Oh man. So is that lethal? 7, 8.
8,
8 plus 8, right?
12, yeah, 16. He's 1 damage off lethal. Say it with me right now.
Well, I would like to see a faceless and Shredder here, but I'm sure he's done a good amount of Savage Roar combo math. He is going to silence the Shredder and just go face. In this game, I don't see how Savjz is going to win.
Lothab does stop the spells.
It's true, they'll give him 1 more turn to try to stabilize. The silence on piloted Shredder definitely hurts here. He needed that 2-drop.
Well, he's not going to even pop it, so... I guess in the end, not playing Big Game Hunter... I mean, ends up being a thing where he could have maybe used that 4-2, but... So it looks like Savjz will just be dead, no matter how much he cuts it. He's looking at just the lethal damage already. As there's 10 damage on board, and there's no need for Zalae to reveal anything else. So that's going to do it for game number 3.
Yep.
And Zalae's going to take it with the series edge going to the Black Knight stage.
Yeah, clutch Black Knight. Savjz had a lot of 5-drops in hand and opted to play the Druid of the Claw, which Black Knight ended up punishing him for pretty hard. Had an Azure Drake, had a Spectral Knight, but yeah, that definitely felt like the point of the game where it swung. Yeah, good series though. Always interesting to see Handlock versus Druid play out, and you know that the Warlock deck from Zalae, I wonder if it is Handlock because we keep seeing him play it, but I could swear we haven't seen a Mountain Giant out of it yet.
No, there has been.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
How can you play Twilight Drakes and not Mountain Giants?
When
Doesn't
did he
even
play?
make sense.
When did he draw Mountain Giant though?
In a previous game.
Against oh, he mulled it against Hyped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
Okay. Well, interesting deck, very anti-aggro. Zombie Chow, Dark Bomb, Mortal Coil, Hellfire.
I think we might be seeing like Warrior versus Handlock or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Warrior
what I'm
versus
feeling. I feel like Warrior's pretty well-rounded against his lineup, and same thing with Handlock.
Yeah, it's definitely a deck that a lot of pros are very comfortable with right now. A lot of people have been playing it a lot on ladder, just because it's one of those decks that it's not just good in tournaments, it's actually pretty good on ladder too, so you can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone when you're streaming. Play some Warrior matchups. Yeah. Seemed like a good list. Savjz won with it, and yeah, I'm sure he's confident in it. Seemed like a pretty standard list. 2 Shield Maiden, wasn't anything too exciting in there. But it's definitely a deck that can beat Handlock. Especially a list like this, it's very centered around beating aggro. Warrior can kind of ignore the list when they have Zombie Chow, Dark Bomb, Mortal Coil. It doesn't care too much about those cards. You mostly want threat density as a Handlock when you're trying to beat other control decks. It is going to be Mage versus Warlock, though. So, Fatigue Mage against anti-aggro Handlock.
Wow, it's pretty interesting. I don't know how this matchup really fares.
Me neither.
Both decks are quite new, untested. But if there's a way for me to theorize, I think Savjz will be okay. I always feel okay playing this deck against Handlock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if they get out a fast 8/8? Do you have like a...
You have a polymorph in the deck.
Oh, that's true. Just the one though.
That's true.
There's a big game hunter too, isn't there?
There's Big Game Hunter. It's just about you have to make sure to use your duplicates and your echoes correctly. That matchup can be difficult. The thing is too, I don't know necessarily the mulligans properly. It's like very difficult to say.
Yeah.
Should you keep duplicate and Big Game Hunter if you know it, or should you keep like Echo of Medivh at all? I don't know. It's a little tough.
Tough to say. Well, should be cool to see. I've never seen this matchup before, so no idea how it'll go. I imagine that Handlock's the aggressor. You just got to get a fast draw. With a lot of threats. That's not going to do it. No Drake, no Giant.
Yet. There's plenty of time. Also, one thing that might come into play is Cold Light Oracle. And Milling.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, that's a good pickup.
Very good pickup.
I like to see a coin 3-drop here, I think. On the duplicate.
Yep.
If you coin Cold Light Oracle, they can turn 3 Mountain Giant you. Then you're going to have a bad time. But yeah, duplicate here is definitely the play.
So he taps.
I've got the beast in my
Interesting.
Really wants the pressure.
Well, he's aware of what's involved if he gives up the board against his deck.
It's a double power overwhelming list. I actually like his Warlock deck a lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
All the cards are good on their own, and if the Implosion imps live, then power overwhelming just becomes another removal spell.
I feel like I haven't seen this list before. Like this type of... I've seen the double power overwhelming with the Faceless and the Arcane Golem. But it seems like a unique twist on it.
Still, no Giants.
So you really want to make a bet there's no Giants in this deck?
No, I'm just saying I haven't seen them. Maybe I have. I don't know. I'm a little out of it. Alright, Implosion's gonna come down on the 2/2, I guess.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, I don't mind giving him a bunch of Cold Light Oracles. Alright. That Jungle Panther pressure. Destroyer of life totals. Getting in for 4.
Yeah, that was a high roll implosion too. Pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, great for Zalae though. So we'll see. Cone of Cold gonna take out some tiny fraction of that implosion to stop Big Game Hunter for a turn.
Sludge Belcher right on curve.
Yeah, it's a great draw. Definitely play that here. Over on the right, to play around another Cone of Cold.
Most likely, though, I think you can anticipate your opponent might play like Hero Power and then Cold Light Oracle. Do you think so, or it's difficult? Maybe Savjz would overdraw himself. One of the things about this deck is that the Cold Light Oracle mill attempt is not actually that strong because you usually have a very strong hand.
Yeah.
So many possibilities.
It definitely feels bad playing Cold Light Oracle when you're ahead too. Well, this is a case where I think we are just going to see Sludge Belcher. Oh, he's going to heal his BGH.
Interesting.
Is he Dark Bombing face or Life Tapping? Neither. That's a surprising play.
Oh man, great draw from Savjz.
Yeah, it's great for him. It's going to get... It's not going to kill Farseer, but it'll get it within range of dying to Mage Hero Power next turn.
One thing that I think this deck might struggle with, though, is handling. It's like if he doesn't draw taunts, how does he handle a burst combo?
Yeah.
Because he only can freeze what's on board.
Yeah, he's just missing the Arcane Golem.
That's still 10 mana and a ways away, but
There is an Ice Block in the deck, isn't there?
he just played it.
Just played it now. Alright, so that's going to protect him from it for a turn, but the Warlock deck does have some spells to finish it off afterwards.
How much damage does he have right now? 3, 11, 14. Not enough.
It's a lot of non-giant cards, Dan.
I know, but do you want to take a bet that he doesn't have giants in his deck?
Well, I'm not sure, because you claim you saw them, so I don't know.
Should he faceless the Sludge Belcher right here?
No, you need that as part of your Arcane Golem combo.
But I mean, you might actually
face.
pop it next. You might pop it next turn.
You mana up and you Dark Bomb face.
You might pop it next turn.
He can interact with Sludge Belchers. He can't interact with Faceless combo.
I mean, it might be a case where you might just need one Arcane Golem. You don't need two of them. Two of them do 24 damage. One of them does 12.
Yeah, that's true.
I would faceless it. I think it's the appropriate.
Alright. Those are going to get frozen several turns in a row. But it is going to give a consistent source of pressure. So it is going to force Savjz to be freezing them every turn.
Cold to cold. Doesn't seem very strong. Blizzard is okay. It's the second one. He just wants to build up a stronger board.
Nope. Alright, Zalae.
So do you think Zalae plays Giants?
I don't know, man.
We've drawn through so many cards in the deck and he still doesn't have Giants.
If I were to look at the past two games, I'd say no, but you claim you saw them in a game against Hyped, so I don't know. Maybe he just hasn't been drawing them.
Why would you have Twilight Drakes and not Mountain Giants?
To play around BGH, you have no BGH targets.
Oh, I guess so.
So many possibilities.
But the synergy is just too easy, man. It's the same reason as not playing Dr. Boom.
Are you saying you're assuming they're in there? Or you actually saw
No,
them?
they're in there, man. I saw them.
Okay.
Do you want to take a bet?
Oh man, so many non-giant cards. I want to take a bet, but
You've missed your opportunity, man.
how unlucky would I have been to see this many cards in 2 games?
I think Savjz realizes that the deck also relies on combos, so... I mean, he's just looking for an Arcane Golem now. Wow.
I love watching Sludge Belcher mirrors. So exciting.
It's not even mirrors, it's just Sludge Belchers.
Yeah. Slowing games down.
This is what they wanted, right? Wow, Siphon Soul on an antique heal bot. Actually, he doesn't know if this is duplicate or not.
He was testing for counterspell.
Yep.
Alright. Siphon comes down.
Well, also, you don't want to draw too much because of the Cold Light Oracle. Dark Bomb to the face. Dang.
Yeah,
Just
play
to
of
avoid
champions.
Cold Light Oracles.
Dark Bomb to the face is very underrated, man.
Well, interestingly enough, Savjz still might get his Ice Block pop despite being at 20 health and have played Flame Strike while clearing most of the bodies of the board. Arcane Golem is what he needs. 2
That's
plus
not
8
it.
is 10. 16 damage right now.
Yep, life tapping into Golem would not give him lethal. I think we're gonna see a life tap Sludge Belcher though.
Possibilities.
Oh,
There you go. Twilight Drake.
Twilight Giant? Oh no, it's a Drake.
Yeah, Twilight Drake. Do you think there's giants in this deck right now?
I don't, but you say you saw them. I don't know, I feel like I'm being trolled.
Alright, time to Cold Light Oracle here.
Into some more non-giant cards. Oh, what a coincidence.
Oh, he's got Cone of Cold and followed up by the Death Lord.
Yeah, Warlock is gonna overdraw by 1.
I think you want a Cone of Cold here. It's just it's like super effective.
What to do?
And I think Death Lord is your best bet afterwards too. It's pretty resilient against most things. It'll challenge the little taunts on the board. It also might pull out a giant.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you have the polymorph for it. It's gonna pull out Arcane Golem is what it's gonna do.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
What to do?
Yeah,
What
that'd be
to
really
do?
nice.
You know, because that is the only other creature in the deck. Let's see.
Illuminator and Cone of Cold is also pretty appropriate. I just like Death Lord
Calls out on
because
me.
I think it fits the bill of trying to draw out your opponent's deck. If you Death Lord, you're also safe from the Faceless combo.
That's true. It's one of his only taunts. He's got to be careful with it.
Duplicate. He's gonna overdraw if this dies.
My hand.
Oh! Did anybody else just see that?
Yeah, no more combo.
Oh my god!
He would have had lethal. Well, does he still win? He still has lethal, doesn't he? Or is there a secret in play?
I wonder.
There is an Ice Block and a duplicate in play.
Oh, and he's 2 mana short. My bad.
Yeah.
Well,
Dang!
wrecked. Well, I guess you Blood Mage Mortal Coil. Make him duplicate Cold Light Oracle.
Yeah.
Although that's just as dangerous as Death Lords. I don't know. Maybe you just ignore duplicate.
So many possibilities.
I apologize, by the way, for blowing out the speakers everyone listening to. If your headset's ruined, you can pick up a nice Plantronics headset.
Yeah, I heard those are great. Support the Hearthstone scene.
Double power overwhelming. Oh man. Let's see what he gets off of this. Hellfire. Oh, more Cold Lights. Wonderful.
He is going for it.
Yep. Just a little bit short. Oh, wait. No, he could have done it if he played his Thalnos.
Yeah,
He missed the Ice Block pop.
he did.
Oh, man.
There's the oops.
Well, it doesn't really matter anymore because he's got stall.
Yeah,
so-
Zalae did all the math for it, but then messed up right at the end.
Yeah, that sucks. So now the Illuminator gains health, stalls, and the best part is you can also Echo Medivh.
To do.
Oh no, you can't. You don't have enough mana. Just by 1. Excuse me. My apologies. So I suppose you just attack then.
Embrace the
You
light.
definitely need to freeze though this turn.
Yeah.
So many Cold Lights.
I mean, do you play them or do you just hold off until you need the cards?
Well, it's not about needing the cards anymore. It could be a lot about how close his hand. Like, handlocks tap so much. I want to see how many cards are remaining in the deck.
Yeah, handlock should definitely be further in the deck than mage, so you can use that to burst them out with fatigue.
He's still not a giant, dude.
I told you they're not in there.
Well, hold on, hold on, hold on. How many cards are remaining in the deck?
With the power of spectator mode, we'll soon find out.
No, not on this turn.
It appears that after 2 games of fatigue mage, our production guy has in fact died of old age. So we can't see how many cards are left in the deck, but that's fine.
Savjz has to kill this off so that way he doesn't die, get his ice block pop. 6 cards versus 10. Really, I feel like we're so much farther along. What have we become? Oh, you know what? Savjz still has Doomsayers in his deck.
Hmm.
Yeah. Zalae's out of Hellfires, or after this one. He's out of Dark Bomb. He's only got heals and taunts. 5 cards remain.
Hey man, if he did manage to pop that ice block, that Illuminator wouldn't have been able to gain life.
2 Asian heal bots. It's a pretty cool deck, I gotta admit. It's very much about that burst combo and you know, dragging your opponent's health a little bit low enough.
And you get those free wins with giants sometimes.
Yeah, you do. It's good.
Those
Pretty
giants.
unlucky that Zalae hasn't drawn his giants, man. It's in the bottom 4 cards of his deck.
Exactly. What are the odds?
He's gonna like fish him out too.
Well, let's see what Savjz decides to go with.
I mean, he might freeze Frost Nova. Play his Coalite Oracle. Alright, it's also appropriate.
Yeah, ping BGH probably.
Probably the Sludge Belcher because he has Blizzard.
Oh, he wants to play that next turn? Okay.
He has Blizzard. One thing, a nice combo is Blizzard with the Explosive Sheep. Because you can Blizzard Explosive Sheep, shoot your own sheep.
Is there something you can draw into to have lethal? That owl's pretty important.
Second owl.
Yeah.
I wonder.
I guess, yeah, he has so few cards in the deck, can't afford to life tap.
Right.
You're going to draw them all anyway.
Yeah. This is where freeze becomes even more powerful. And these 3 Coalite Oracles are going to do amazing amounts of damage.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty cool finish.
Here's another thing too. I think Savjz has yet to tap into his heal bots. He only used 1, and he has the Echo of Medivh, so he can bounce back up 8 to 16 health, or even more.
Yeah. Getting damage onto Warlock is a big deal here.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it does seem like Mage is kind of going through their motions, right? Savjz has an ice block up.
Right.
Doesn't seem like the Warlock deck has any way left to deal damage.
Unless it has a second owl, right?
Yep.
The second owl would unfreeze his minion, and then he can silence past this and then pop the ice block. But even then, even if he pops the ice block, how does he kill him, right?
Yeah.
Without forcing it to deck out. Alright, the implosion is his chance here.
Saving the owl still.
I think his owl's going to be trying to get past that last taunt. Where is his heal? Oh, there it is. And I guess you also toss the Echo Medivh so you can just get some extra heal.
Yeah, play another Footman.
Goldshire Footman!
Slime is ready for action. Passes back.
It's a giant. So
Ah.
glad you didn't take that bet.
It's Black Giant. There we
It's
go.
the black giant. Oh man. I think Zalae is locked out of this game.
That explains why he wasn't mauling aggressively for Molten Giants against Zoo.
Yeah. Wow. The series is tied up and we are going to game 5. I wonder if we're going to see the same exact matchup again.
Yeah. I hope not.
Ugh. Oh man. Well, I was saying how cool this deck was, And now I'm like saying, all right, that's a nice thing, and I think I'm ready to see it win and move on.
It is a cool thing the
it
first
is.
time you watch it.
It is. It's definitely really cool. The games can wear on you, especially if this becomes a fatigue meta. That's what everyone was saying, like, oh, I wish this became a much more viable archetype. And yeah, so this is what you guys wanted, and Savjz has delivered. He's the people's champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In hallowed territory, along with Silverback Patriarch.
Yep. And Moger the Ogre.
Moger the Ogre.
We're going to see Moger the Ogre again, by the way, because Amaz is going to have to play after this series. But the nice thing is that Amaz actually did get some sleep, I think, because he was the last match, and so I think he woke up at like 5 or 6 a.m. instead of staying up past at like 2 to 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, all everyone except for Savjz and Zalae also got some sleep. Pretty sure that's your 6 hours right there. Good to go.
So, good morning, good evening to everybody who's finally waking up and.
They don't really feel our pain though, do they?
They tuned in like 10 minutes ago and they're like wondering why, why aren't these casters making any sense?
If they get bored of Fatigue Mage, they just feel like browsing Reddit. They can do that. They have that luxury. No, not us.
Well, we get to see if Hunter can take down this Fatigue Mage. It certainly can. I think it's a lot harder with Ice Block because even if you pop the Ice Block, they can just Antique Healbot and Sludge Belcher. If it's one of those things where you're reaching for damage.
Yeah,
Illuminator
cool
is also super clutch against Hunter. Super clutch.
It'd be kind of cool to see just like one flare played in Tournament Hunter. Just for decks like this,
Well, that's where sideboarding becomes like a big thing.
Yeah.
We're like, why can't we sideboard in Hearthstone? It's like, well, I guess we're not going to play Mage ever if they have the ability to play Hunter. So there's your answer, people.
I like that this deck is being played. It's cool to watch. It's just,
I like to. It's like the same thing as like you know what I want in Hearthstone? I want Red Zone, the way that they have it in NFL, where they always. Do you know what that is?
No idea.
It's basically a subscription to like see the touchdowns of every game.
Oh, okay.
So like I would like that for Hearthstone.
It's called Trollden.
Yeah, Trollden is basically like that
Okay.
too. Hearth Trollden on YouTube. But there needs to be something like that for Hearthstone, where you get to see the most epic moments.
Yeah.
And just like highlight them immediately.
I remember what tournament was that had the where it like zoomed in when legendaries got played?
Oh, Battle of the Best.
Yeah.
The Doom Zoom.
Yeah. Was that like a spectator mode was programmed at first to just do that?
No. It was just they decided to just zoom and enhance it.
Oh god. There's a guy in the production office just going enhance. Enhance.
Wait. Oh man, duplicate and Sludge Belcher. A web spinner off a web spinner.
The train begins.
I feel like this game already is becoming trolltastic.
The double web spinner, double scientist combo.
Here's another
X-Ramus
funny
balance
thing
at
too.
its finest.
Here's another thing that's really funny too. Hunter, like, Mage never actually has to attack into Hunter. Because some decks, it's like, well, if you don't attack into Hunter, you'll never beat them, like Rogue or Warrior or something like that. But like this Mage deck actually never has to attack.
Yeah, just ignore all the secrets. What a fantastic draw from the Hunter, though. Literally 0 dead cards. No kill command, no unleash, no Hunter's mark, nothing. Just minions, which is exactly what you want.
Minions that fit the curve into High Mage.
And great web spinner rolls. Web spinner into Jungle Panther. It's perfect. I mean, if there's a draw that beats Mage, this should do it.
It might not. Because if he plays a minion, he's just going to play Sludge Belcher. Sludge Belcher gets duplicated. He freezes for turns while playing more Sludge Belchers.
That's a good point.
But, the fact is there is High Main, which can overwhelm. So that definitely will be a problem. I'm actually quite happy that Savjz is like, this is the deck that he wants to play.
Well, I think we're going to see a Jungle Panther and a Haunted Creeper here. I don't see any other play that makes sense. Trying to weave in hero powers is not what you want to do with a hand like this. See, okay. Yeah, I'll play Jungle Panther and Haunted Creeper. In a game like Magic, it would make a lot more sense to actually hold back your threats here and maximize value out of the hero power. But yeah, in Hearthstone, I mean, you're drawing like business every single turn. You have to just get those cards out. Haunted
Drawing
Creeper.
business?
Yeah. Like, well, in Magic you draw lands.
Right.
So like, spells are business basically, or gas is
Oh.
another word for it.
Okay, okay. Yeah, gas would make sense, but
Yeah.
you're drawing business.
Yeah.
What? No one says.
In Magic they do. I don't know.
Maybe in Minnesota.
Leper Gnome, man. It gives them the
Leper Gnome
business.
is the worst kind of business.
It gives them the business.
It gives them the business.
4 points of business delivered. It's like,
No one says that. It's 2015.
they'll say it
Nobody
now.
says
They'll
that.
say it now,
Not even
man.
MC Hammer would say that. I think the Sludge Belcher is a lot better than Deathlord here, right? Or like anything else.
yeah.
That's what you want duplicated.
I'm pretty sure all the other cards get you killed. You gotta play Belcher.
Okay. Now, okay, Raynad, if you say we're open for business, that would make sense, because that's a hype line. It's like, oh, high main coming down, Hunter is open for business.
Aw,
That'd
man,
be okay.
You're just not understanding the lingo. That's what it is. There's 2 types of draws. There's air, which is like your freezing traps, your hunter's marks, unleash the hounds. And then there's business.
It's not an appropriate element. Oh my god. Alright, well, I'm sensing a blizzard here.
Yeah.
Still a significant amount of damage, although I wonder what's coming out of the Pilot Shredder.
The one-time patient assassin isn't good enough, huh? Oh wow, he's not gonna play Blizzard against that board.
Yeah,
That's
he wants the
interesting.
Deathlord to draw out something so that he can Blizzard.
So much Sludge Belcher.
Yeah.
His life total is getting pretty low though.
He does have Antique Heal Bot.
True. I wonder if that's the card they'll nerf
Antique Heal Bot.
to try to like
If
because
the Fatigue meta takes over.
yeah, because that is not something Blizzard wants to be a thing.
Yeah, they want the games to be fast-paced. I mean,
Yeah, you
this
had a
isn't
big
League of
neutral
Legends.
heal.
We're not trying to create 45-minute games in Hearthstone.
Are they trying to? I thought they wanted the shorter ones.
Yeah, they want to. They want the shorter games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the Blizzard philosophy of design is like 10 to 15 minutes. So that way you have like enough time to say, oh, I can squeeze in a game.
Yeah.
Not like, well, I have to block out the next 4 hours of my life to just ladder a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Sludge Belcher.
Yep. Sludge Belcher and, well, I guess just more stall.
Yep.
I mean,
Leper Gnome goes down.
That's 15 points worth of taunt, right? That you have to chew through, and that's assuming you go efficiently 1 for 1. What do you think this Deathlord's gonna pull out?
Business.
Oh my god.
If it wasn't a thing before, Dan, it is now.
I quit.
There we go.
I'm done.
High main incoming.
It's yeah. There's no other play. I mean, this Eaglehorn bow feels like it's only temporary to chew through. I guess giving Deathlord. There's no duplicate up, right? No secret.
I don't think so. Ooh.
Ah. Knife Juggler is actually very interesting. Oh, he gets baited into giving up into his Haunted Creeper death battle.
Yeah. Blizzard's gonna be nasty.
Yeah, but at the same time, all the taunts are gone.
Come on, Millhouse. Off the shredder.
Does he not want to ping first? Oh, he might Frostbolt the face.
You know what would be good is the Pirate, the 4-1. Because then you have 2 guys that he has to hero power.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot what he's called. One-eyed something, I think.
Yeah, Sneak, One-Eyed Sneak. But he's gonna hold off, just barely, for this turn. Can he survive long enough? Undertaker High Main Hero Power puts him at 4 health. I mean, remember, this is the match that decides it all. The winner of this moves on to the finals. And I'm pretty sure Zalae is a dominant position. Savjz needs like a Frost Nova.
Here we go. Well, Doomsayer, one turn too late.
Doomsayer, Hero Power, Sludge Belcher. Yeah. What if he Collate Oracles into Ice Block?
That's probably the only play. This is the problem with Cold Light Oracle when you're behind. I mean, you're just giving the hunter more. If only there's a word.
Ammo.
Something like that.
Good luck to Forsen on his new arena run. It's hard to think clearly too when you're panicking at this moment.
Yeah, really tough to say.
He needed one more mana to Sludge Belcher and Antique Heal Bot.
Definitely. Well, I'm not seeing a way to survive here.
Yeah, he needs to Collate Oracle actually into Ice Block.
All the Belcher plays get you killed, so.
Ice Block it is. Doomsayer. Doomsayer doesn't actually do anything.
It's probably better not to play it.
Yeah, I think he panicked a little bit. Because he could have had an opportunity to freeze again. In fact, I'm pretty convinced that he needed to not Doomsayer there. Because now he just pops it and then just kills Doomsayer. Not a big deal. Versus if he froze the board, Doomsayered. Well, he only had 2 mana remaining. Actually, it's a little bit idealistic.
Yeah, I mean, he would have to draw Frost Nova and go like Frost Nova, Doomsayer,
Right.
Antique Heal Bot. Still would have given him a chance, but yeah. It is like 5 AM for Savjz or something right now, so to be fair.
Well, the good news is Savjz will still be coming back next week for all of his fans.
Yeah.
He'll be have an opportunity, but it's going to get hard too because we have some pretty strong killers coming next week. We have Gara and Kit Kats and Tice.
Yeah. Should be some good games.
I mean, we're saying this all under the guise that we really think Savjz is dead. I don't think there's any way. I think this mage is closed for business.
Well, thank God. Come cast ESL with me, Raynad. That's what he told me, Frodan.
I said, hey, next
about-
week's going to be really fun. You should come cast.
Yeah, fun. That's the word.
Yeah.
How about a best of 5 where every game involves Fatigue Mage and it goes to game 5? Oh man.
Sounds good to me. Actually, if that was Frost Nova, this game would have continued.
Yeah. Thank God it wasn't. He can Frost. No, it's not. Yeah, I don't see a way here. Good positioning against Kona Cold.
What to do?
That Undertaker.
What to do?
Yeah. Let's see, 1820. Yeah, a second heal bot won't do anything.
That's pretty much dead no matter how you cut it. So Savjz drops here, and so Zalae is going to go on to the finals. That was his first opportunity, and maybe Zalae is the guy who qualifies for it all.
Yeah, that'd be cool to see.
He's a guy who's been here for 3 weeks now. People have seen him.
I like seeing the qualified players advance through to the big stage. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good story for sure.
First Amy, now it's going to be Zalae.
Well, I mean, he still has to win one more series. He has to get past the winner of Amaz.
Yeah,
versus,
if he makes it. Who's Amaz going to be playing against?
Ping Ping Ho.
Ping Ping Ho. Okay, so if Ping Ping Ho wins, it's going to be a guaranteed.
Yep. And ESL might break the bank to try to get all these players to travel from Taiwan to Korea.
Yep.
So Savjz's run ends here. A pretty close series, and once again, the Fatigue Mage not really doing that much, but in the end today it went 50-50. And I think there were arguable moments where maybe things could have been played a certain way. I think that deck has a lot of potential, and maybe refinement too, because he did make his own twists, like Illuminator and Ice Block.
Yeah. Hunter destroying fun, as always. Savjz came in with a cool deck. Undertaker had something to say about that, but that's okay. Some cool games nonetheless. Ping Ping Ho versus Amaz coming up next. Gonna be some great matchups. Shaman, Priest, all the classes we don't see that much of in tournaments, coming right up.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty fun series. I definitely feel like Ping Ping Ho has a lot of momentum on his side, though.
Definitely, yeah.
He seems really strong.
Almost no mistakes. I haven't seen any. So, great player.
I think. Oh, I also forgot. Ping Ping Ho is also another player that legitimately could qualify through points too.
Yeah.
If Ping Ping Ho wins, then we have Zalae versus Ping Ping Ho in the finals. That means both these guys can qualify via points if they don't win this week.
That's pretty awesome. Oh, yeah. Very cool tournament series overall set up. Frodan, what makes this tournament series happen week after week?
Well, thank you, Raynad. It's the great and wonderful sponsors that we have over at Crucial, Western Digital, Cooler Master,